What's going on, y'all? Are we recording back with another podcast episode? And today we've got a jam-packed episode with a lot to talk about. We've got music, we've got Texas State football, NBA, and we're just here to do it again. So it's the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton.
Bark.
I'm 007, Gage Sutton. And today we're joined by our good friend, Christopher. And Christopher, thank you for joining us, man. We really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to talk and give us your opinions on this new Clipse album and, get into some of this sports that's getting ready to start up here again. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm struggling to get through these months without football and basketball season just ending.
I feel you. I've had to move my sports fanaticism to Love Island, and it's honestly been the weirdest transition ever. So I'm ready for sports to come back.
Yeah, it's a tough time too because we got no World Cup, no Olympics. It's just baseball. It's just baseball and free agency. So
yeah.
CB, you're not watching Love Island? You're not caught up?
You might be able to pull me for a chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. For those who are wondering, when the time we're recording this is the season finale. Don't get me started. I wish y'all too were tapped in fully into Love Island so I can rant about it on this podcast. How this is the worst season I've ever experienced. But I'm not gonna torture our viewers with my Love Island takes for the day. I'm not gonna do all that.
No, but hey, in all fairness, I understand why people like the show. And you know what, Ethan, you shouldn't feel bad for sharing your opinions. And if you want to hear Ethan's opinions on Love Island, make sure that you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. Hit the subscribe button while you're here. And make sure you give us a like if you enjoy this and you want to see Christopher back for more content, more album rollouts and stuff. We would love to have him back. So, all right, guys. Well, with all that out of the way, I say we get right into the shits. And the shits involves Let God Sort Them Out. And it's Clipse dropping their first album in damn near a decade, right?
A little over a decade.
A decade. It was very highly anticipated, guys, and finally the day came and went. We had a leak the night before the album came out, but I waited until Thursday night, Friday morning, and I'll just leave it for this right now and let you guys weigh in. I fully was impressed with what I received, and even though the hype was so real, people were talking about this as being album of the year. I think it lived up to the hype. I think it is a very, very good album, man. It's I really want to hear what you guys have to say about it, because I'm gonna gush over it and make it sound like it's the best album that Pusha T's been a part of. But I don't know. I want to hear y'all's opinions and what you guys thought of the album as a whole.
CB, you want to go first?
Let's do it. Yeah, man. I think Pusha T and the Clipse are on an amazing run. I feel like, especially since that Daytona project, Pusha T's just been killing it, man. I think he's made music for a younger generation that may not have been there for the Clipse run, and bringing it back around has been amazing to see. I know Gage and I were talking about it off camera, but production-wise, this is excellent, right? This is luxury hip hop. This is the top S tier hip hop production with Pharrell. And I know this project is without Chad Hugo, so it's not quite the Neptunes. And I know No Malice had a bar about that, but especially for the younger generation, I think people might see Pusha T or No Malice in the Clipse and think, "Oh, this is old head rap. I don't want to listen to this." But the production and everything is so accessible. You can play this, So Be It as a record you can play anywhere. And that's why I would really recommend those who, if you're only listening to Opium and the Playboy Cardis and people like that, you want something that's with bars and more substance, but, with production you can actually listen to, this is definitely a group and album that I would recommend.
No, I very much like the fact that you touched on the production specifically. I love what Pharrell did with this project. I know I'm often like in my head and on Twitter, I'm often critiquing Pharrell a lot, especially the last like 2 years. I just haven't been the biggest fan of his production work, especially outside of the Neptunes. I keep thinking every time I hear a Pharrell track, I'm like, damn, he should really call Chad. Like you can definitely tell the difference, but he definitely like took to another step up on this project. It feels like anytime Pharrell is around, Pusha and Clipse, that he just raises the bar. He feels like he saves his best beats for them. And you could really tell on this album, like FICO, oh my, the beats on this project are really, really, really good. It's a match made in heaven between these 2 different artists or 3 different artists, and so I'm really glad that you touched on that aspect too.
Yeah, for sure. That was one of my favorite parts of the album. There's just so many good beats, and from the So Be It, POV. I love the Inglorious Bastards beat too. Like the production on that one was just amazing. And let's touch on the features. Let's get them out of the way, because we knew that we were getting a Kendrick feature. A lot of the controversy and talk about this album was because of the Kendrick feature. And personally, I thought it was great. I think Tyler killed it with POV. I think he might have had the best feature. In my opinion, but you've also got great verses here from Nas. You've got another verse from Leva. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah.
Anyone know? Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we got another verse from The Dream on All Things Considered.
I love Stove God's. Like I said, I know it's like about FICO, but I love Stove God doing the hook on that. I thought that was really interesting to use him in that way.
And I was gonna say, CB, I know this is a big thing for us too. Was they just updated the So Be It beat on Apple Music, so it's the original one.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy they did that. I'm so happy they did that. It's a little bit of demo-itis, but no, not that the new one was bad or anything, but it's just a little bit of demo-itis. It's like once you hear that first version, you're like, I don't want it ever to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the new or the part 2 is how they originally released it, right? I mean, not bad. I think if anything, if they were gonna roll that out, it should have been with like a remix, like another feature on there. But I mean, especially that run where you're going from, was it Chains and Whips to POV to So Be It? I mean, that's one of the best runs I've heard.
And then you have what's it called?
Ace Trumpets coming,
Ace Trumpets all the way
running
in there.
The anchor, yeah. But back to the best verses. I know personally, I probably put Tyler number 1. He came ready to. He wasn't playing. But personally, as a huge Nas fan, I mean, having him on there on Let God Sort Him Out. I know this was like it was almost like a track within itself. Like it was called Chandeliers, completely different beat. If anything, I would have liked to hear him rap with Clipse and not just have his own section on there. But I still really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend if viewers, if you've not heard all the projects he did with Hit Boy, some of the best hip hop of the last decade. So,
yeah, no, I hearing especially So Be It and Chains and Whips, it makes me think like, damn, like why didn't we get a whole verse on here? Because I was so hyped for the fact that maybe we would have got a secret whole verse. And listening to the Clipse interviews on Joe Budden and then on Ebro after the fact, they talk about how the fact that they did send Hove a couple of tracks and So Be It was one of them, and they just never got the verse back for it. And the fact that they even sent Kendrick the verse, or they sent Kendrick So Be It, and they sent him Chains and Whips while everything was happening with Drake that summer. And the fact that he was able to respond so quick with at least a verse was like, damn, like he's a psycho, is what Pusha said. So I thought that was hilarious. Like in the heat of battle, he was still like, okay, let me still get this verse off. Let me still keep my pen sharp. So
I thought that's 2 serial killers working together, man.
That's what I'm saying. This is an album full of psychos too, because we got to give some credit to Malice. I was not familiar with your game, my friend. He is fucking a huge part of this album and why it is so good. It's just so intriguing. The wordplay and the bars that you get from Pusha T and Malice is just it's a perfect combination, man. And throw that in with the Pharrell production. I really don't think there's an album like a miss on this album.
No.
And that already, in my opinion, puts that in consideration for best album of the year. I don't know if that's too early to say, guys, but just with everything that it's already accomplished, all of the controversy that's surrounding it right now, with Justin Bieber dropping the same night, and then Travis Scott dropping Jack Boys 2 days after. I'm still assuming that Clipse are going to have good numbers. More importantly, they're leaving an impact on this year. They're leaving an impact on hip hop. And I personally need to start like considering, where do we have this album rollout in our like in our history books? Because they absolutely killed it with the interviews coming out. So Be It being the lead single is just perfect. Like perfect way to stoke the fire and get people excited. But I want to get y'all's take. So what are some of y'all's favorite album rollouts, and where does Let God Sort 'Em Out kind of fall within this category?
Yeah, it's hard not to bring up. Oh, you want to go ahead?
No, you go straight ahead.
Yeah, it's hard not to bring up Pusha T's arch nemesis now, Kanye West. But I mean, especially if I'm thinking hip hop rollouts, it's hard not to think of Kanye West for multiple projects. I mean, Twisted Fantasies, probably one of the number one.
Good Fridays. I remember growing up with Good Fridays. Yeah, those were the best. Recently, like Donda, like especially the having the live stream at the concerts. I know we talked about this in the pod a few years back, like how revolutionary that was. I thought it was pretty dope.
Yep.
Yeah, even The Life of Pablo had a pretty crazy rollout with like the listening party, and yeah, man, Kanye is definitely up there for
100%
best album rollouts ever.
And speaking about arch nemesis, Kanye, another one of Kanye's arch nemesis, Drake, during COB, him having the billboards in each and every country and city with the artists that were featured on that project, I thought was really, really dope.
You can keep that one. You can keep that
one. You're not a fan of that one?
You can keep that one.
Is there another Drake rollout that you thought was better?
I mean, the biggest one of his career was definitely Views, right? I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Not the biggest fan personally of that album, but I don't know if there was a project that was hyped more than that in the 2010s. But I mean, I will say this: we're talking about favorite album rollouts, but to give this album rollouts credit, I mean, this has been the talk of hip hop for the last like 4 months now. Like I've heard everyone talk about this. This is one of the most highly anticipated albums I've heard in a while. And I think I'm just so happy that they're getting their just due. I know there's all this talk about, you know, the beefs that they're in, whether it's with Travis or there was with Drake or whoever, Jim Jones even. I know they're, you know, walking on the Louis Vuitton rollout runaway in Paris a couple of years ago. But just to focus on them and them getting their flowers finally, it's been amazing to see, especially Malice. I mean, I might be mistaken. I know on So Be It, there weren't any, he didn't say any curse words, but was it the whole project? He didn't curse at all.
The whole project.
Damn,
like,
the
whole project. I'm so glad you brought up that. I think people, maybe because of the hiatus, maybe it's the no cursing, but Malice really shined on this project. Like he like there is like a legit, I know Pusha gets offended when you say this, as he should, because he's like that S tier level of MC. But if somebody said Malice was the best rapper on Clipse, I'm not gonna argue with them. Like I'm not. Like what he did on this project was amazing. And it's a combination of just like when you really think about him not cursing at all through the project, when you really think about the fact that he's had this long of a hiatus in general, I know you get a verse from here and there. I think he was on a Ye project, a few ones. I think the Jesus is King one, I think he was on the end, but he's in a few projects here and there, right? Like sort of like how 3 Stacks or like how Hove does it, or like once in a blue moon you'll hear them. But for him to do this on a whole project, 12, 13 tracks, is really with like God tier MCs.
Yep.
Like that, it's a testament to how good Malice is at this rap shit.
100%. And even too, I mean, he deserves all his flowers, but not to take away from Push. I mean, Push, and I was talking about Gage about this recently, but when you consider, you know, Lord Willing, Hell Have No Fury, Daytona, It's Almost Dry, and now this project, his catalog and discography is insane. The fact that he's gone toe-to-toe and won beefs, has some of the best diss records ever. He's on huge commercial records as well. When you think about, I think it's Runaway, the Don't Like remix, Grindin'. He's got records. He's got a crazy set list. I really think Push there's some serious conversations about where Push stands on some of those lists, because he can say a lot of things other people can't say, and his discography is undefeated right now,
and he's battle tested.
Very much so. And I think this project is just building more on his already legendary discography, because it's almost dry. I thought it was a cool project, right? It was missing a little bit of the magic that I think that I had during Daytona. But I think this project really, really brings that feeling back for me, at least.
For sure.
And the most important thing above it all was it's just quality music. It's they took their time, and that's another thing I want to shout out Pusha T for, because in an era where you release an album every year, every couple of months, people are just dying for content. Pusha T takes his time, make sure that the albums are good, and I think it was like at least 3 years between It's Always Dry, this album. Yeah. So I think that's just good process, man. You end up having better quality albums, and for a guy like Pusha T, this is just benefiting him. It's helping his case in conversations like this. Who's the greatest MC? Pusha T's got to start being in that conversation, because there aren't very many things that he hasn't done. And yeah, man, I think this was just a great addition to add on to it.
For 100%. Sure. What other album rollouts do you guys think were great? We mentioned like some of the Kanye ones. We mentioned Drake. I think Tyler deserves a shout out for his world building. I think he on really the last like 3 or 4 projects. For me, the standout one for me will probably Call Me If You Get Lost. I think that probably had the best rollout. Everything from the teaser. I remember we got the teaser of the NBA YoungBoy verse. With Ty Dolla $ign, and then we have the whole like aesthetic with the pastel colors and the music videos. I thought that was a really, really good one.
Yeah, and I mean, for him, you could even go Chromacopia, you could go Flower Boy, you go Igor, because I think Igor is probably his most iconic rollout. And there's definitely an art form to it, and I like it when artists take it seriously. I'll give you one of mine. I think After Hours by The Weeknd, that was one of the craziest album rollouts ever, and it happened like right before COVID or like during COVID, so that was like a weird time too, where we're like, I felt like everyone was kind of tuned in with what was happening with The Weeknd, and he was just inescapable. So that's got to be one of my favorites personally.
Yeah, the Super Bowl around that time too.
Yeah, he was on the Super Bowl like less than a year later.
I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's
because the internet.
Because the internet is tough too. Yep.
That one might be short. Yeah, I was gonna say with the short films, he had a website and
he had a script for a movie.
Damn. Yeah.
Side note, we're still waiting on that Gambino. What's it called? Movie that he was supposed to drop like last year. I totally forgot about that until you just brought it up. What else project? I don't know. I guess because all of us are kind of like marketing, like social media guys too, and we love hip hop. I think we all like very much appreciate. You know what? That's a good rollout. Like I really appreciate that they actually like cared. Amine is really good at his album rollouts too. Amine is really, really good. I know that he might not be on like the superstar level as the guys we mentioned. Who else? Travis Scott. I remember Astro World in high school with the pop-up shops, the merch, the festival before the tragedy at the festival happened. Like everything around that was great.
Well, let me ask you, like, especially during the streaming era, I think around like 2015, 2014 to now, a lot of anti-rollouts, a lot of just dropping, and no one had any heads up, no singles, no music videos, no nothing. What do y'all think about that in this era? And do we prefer the months out, we know this is coming, there's a date that's set, or how does that not anti-rollout affect the music and how we consume it and how we look at it?
Man, I feel like it's such a it's such a complicated like feeling, because I feel like the classic rollout of like announcing it kind of upsets people, because like for example, I'll use Jid, who released his out, or said his album was coming out in August, and I think he announced it like a couple months ago, and people were just like, bro, we're gonna have to wait forever. But like, you use that as a strategy to build anticipation. You're like, okay, people are gonna stick around. This is how I'm gonna release singles, get people ready for when I drop my album in August. And I definitely just see a benefit to doing that. But I think with the success of so many albums that have just dropped out of nowhere, like with no lead up, just kind of like a surprise, I think a lot of artists are kind of thinking that might be the move. But I feel like it only really works if you're like just really highly anticipated, like someone that we haven't heard from in a while, or someone that we're just really intrigued with, that we would listen to whatever they drop, even if they dropped it on a Tuesday night at 8 p.m.
And I think you hit the nail on the head right there with that one. That like drop out of nowhere surprise album, that is only reserved for the superstars of the superstariest. Like that is for the S tier, the artists that have already established catalogs. It's not for up and coming rappers, up and coming artists that have yet to reach the level. I think those artists benefit more from doing an album rollout, getting with a graphic designer, getting with a creative director, coming up with a vision and executing it. And when it comes to doing the world building, the merch, everything like that, telling a story through the marketing before you even get to the music. I think when artists do that, easier said than done, but when artists do that, I think they have better success, because the dropping out of nowhere, or the constant like, oh, I'm gonna do the album this date and then another date and this date, but there's no like vision. You're not really interacting with artists through social media, through marketing campaigns. It doesn't really work, and we've seen it time and time again.
Yeah, and I think Beyonce was the one who kind of started this when she dropped her self-titled album and had all these music videos, and it was a huge, moment in music, even changing what day we drop in the week, right?
From Tuesday to Friday, yes, sir.
Exactly. But even then, like you are A-list, S tier artist, right? Not everyone's can do that. But I think the difficult part for a younger artist is you have to have the push behind this. You have to have the industry push, the label push, the money to do this, doing the industry circuit, being on all the podcasts and the radio stations, and, having the billboards, and, being able to drop singles with music videos and all these things. It's difficult because you have to have the budget to do that. I know another thing we talked a lot about is, what date you're dropping. And what does that look like in the streaming era versus going to a tangible store to pick up a project? Hey, if I'm dropping the same weekend as Justin Bieber, for example, are they going to step on my rollout, step on my sales? I think it's interesting. What does the nuance look like when we're streaming versus necessarily like purchasing an album tangibly? But I think that's kind of why merch and all these things are important as well, and selling those vinyl records and all these things that come with the album, because you're not making as much profit off the streaming. It's going to be through touring and merchandise sales as well.
I'm with you.
That's a really good point.
And I think a lot of smaller artists, they really need to, I don't want to know if invest is the right word, correct me if I'm using it wrong, but I think they should put more into like certain spaces. Like smaller artists should be going on podcasts like our recording. They should be going and visiting graphic designers on Instagram that they like. They'll try to interact with them, rather than trying to skip all the way to step 5, step 6, trying to go on an Apple Music radio show or try to win a rap contest. You know what I'm saying? Like try working and networking, connecting with people in your own circuit, and then building from there. Because that then get people that fucks with you to really put you on, no pun intended, but put you on to their audience. You can cultivate like that relationship with up and coming media members. You can cultivate that relationship with up and coming designers. Like I just don't understand why more artists don't do that. And I don't think that's, in that case, what I'm speaking of, I don't think that's a money thing. I think that's like just a prioritization thing.
100%. I mean, especially when you think about trying to go on tour or trying to sell out a local venue or whatever, like the people who are going to leave their home and purchase tickets and drive and fly to go see you are the ones who you are interacting with on a more personal level through your social media, through streaming, especially. I mean, if you're trying to boost and build an audience, I mean, that is the lane right now, is going on stream, Twitch, YouTube, whatever it might be. So definitely building that local base and then expanding. I mean, these are the people who are going to buy your merch. These are the people who are going to buy your tickets. So that's how you can leverage those relationships and make a profitable career in this space.
Yeah, for example, right? Let's say you're an up-and-coming artist and you're in college. You go to Texas State, for example. You should be finding a way to get on KTSW. You should be finding a way to see if you can perform at the Mark. See if you can talk to promoters, this, and that. Like, you should be working with these people, social media people, these radio stations, like these up-and-coming people that are in the same space as you, same career arcs and journeys as you. That way, 4 or 5 years down the road, when you become a better artist, you have these networks. You have these like people that you can go to help you build your audience. Like, you really cultivated that. So
100%.
I think more artists should take notes.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it's also encouraging artists to, do it the right way and encourage them to do quality over quantity. I think that's something that also just gets lost. Of artists think that they just need to be releasing music constantly so that they can stay in people's stay in their feeds, stay on their minds, in their playlists. But if the music is good, I think people are gonna fuck with it anyways. So it's just a weird era with all the oversaturation, but we are still getting some really awesome stuff today, and I think that's a perfect segue into our next segment, and it's me and Ethan's favorite segment. So, CB, we're glad you're here to share it with us. But Ethan, I think we have something to do. So,
You ready? Put you on.
Did we hit that shit? Did we hit that shit, CB?
That was nice.
We hit that shit. Yeah,
it was nice. Yeah, it was nice.
This is put you on one of our favorite parts of the show, where we put you, the audience, on the AWR group chat. We put you on to what we've been listening to, what we've been watching recently. And since we have a special guest in CB, why don't you put the audience on to what you've been listening to first, and then we'll come around with music and TV.
Let's do it, man. So we are in peak summertime months. And if you're going to functions or you're just cruising around, you need something to play that's going to put you in that mood. I'm a huge Afrobeats guy. I love Wizkid, Burna Boy, Tiwa Savage, you name it, right? Rima, you name it. So Malik Berry, one of my favorites, came back with an album this year called If Only Love Was Enough. And it is a certified banger. We got records like Summer 25, Situation with Wizkid sampling the Usher song. Mirror, there's a bunch of records on there, man. So highly recommend go check out that Malik Berry record.
All right.
Yeah, put this on some Afro beats, yeah.
I got to.
All right. If Only Love Was Enough by Malik Berry. Y'all go check that out. E, do you want to go next, or do you want me to take over?
Yeah, I got you. For me, I'm gonna be in that summertime mode too. My track is gonna be Crack at 15 by Maxo Cream, which Tyler the Creator produced. It's gonna be their third track working together. It makes me really, really want to hear a Maxo EP produced by Tyler. Like 5-6 songs. That's the way that I'm feeling. So Crack at 15, Maxo Cream, produced by Tyler the Creator. That's my put you on track for the week.
I love it. Tyler's a very underrated producer, so I'm excited to hear it. I'm excited to check it out. Well, man, you guys went with some summer stuff, and I feel kind of weird doing this now, but I'm in my heartbreak era because Giveon just dropped this new album, and it's called Beloved. Yeah. It's really good, man. If you know Giveon, if you've listened to his music before, you kind of get an idea of like where he's gonna go with this. He's got the deep voice. He's singing about heartbreak, about relationships. But the one thing I want to shout out for this album is just the production value, the instruments that he uses throughout the album. He's using real instruments, and you can tell. It's very well made. And if you're into R&B, lonely, sad vibes, I think this is definitely for you. So Beloved by Giveon is my put you on for this week.
But I'm gonna add that to the list because there's been so much music. I've been listening to Clipse. I've been listening to a little bit of that Justin Bieber album. It sounds a lot like McGee and Dijon, by the way, especially like the first half. If you guys haven't gotten to it, and I know Jack Boys 2 came out last night from when we were recording this stuff. They give you on just added to the list, which I'm happy for. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's interesting that all that music just dropping this week, and we've got more coming up, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks. Y'all know how excited I am for the JIT album, and we get that in August. But all right, let's go on to our movies and TV shows. CB, what's been on your television screen, my friend?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go real obscure foreign film with this one. I think it was in the 70s, I believe, or 80s. I can't remember, but it's called La Piscine. So it's a French film. Swimming pool is what it's called in English. It's got Alain Delon, very famous French actor, passed away very recently. Highly recommend it. It's kind of like a thriller. It's based in the summertime. I think they're in the south of France. So visually appealing, looks beautiful, great acting in it. Weird, obscure kind of foreign film. You put it on, people not gonna know what it is, but it's gonna draw their attention. Highly recommend it for the summertime for sure.
All right, I like it. Getting into the foreign film bag. I'm sure my brother's gonna watch it
in our cinephile bag. Yeah,
add it to the letterboxd, man.
I got you.
CB, you gonna check out that new Superman? Or you already saw it yet?
Well, I got to check it out. I got to see it. I mean, it's funny. When Man of Steel came out, I didn't hate it. I think some people, they're like, oh, this is not great. But I'm willing to check it. I know it's a different. They're trying to make it more, authentic to the original comics and everything, just like visually and everything. But I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, this summer got bangers with movie. I still have to catch up 28 years later. That's still on my list. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
F1's good as
well.
Bro,
I saw F1. Bro, I saw F1. Was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that. Yeah,
cool.
That's okay. It's basically just a live action Cars 3, and I was so cool with it. I was so cool with it. So my pick for the week, as far as what my put you on for music and TV shows, it's going to be an anime, Kachiakura. Basically, the plot is you got the main character. He kind of lives in this above ground, dystopian type of world, perfect kind of heaven realm. He got framed for a crime. He gets now dumped down into the lower realms where it's kind of like a little bit of like a trash fantasy anime. It's fire. I really enjoyed the manga for it. So it's gonna be 24 episodes. Should be 2 different courses, so they're gonna split it up like 12 episodes, kind of like 2 seasons, and do 12 episodes, a break, another 12 episodes. So Kachiakura, but it's the summertime anime I've been tapping into. The first 2 episodes already dropped, so yeah, a little bit to decide if you like it or not.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think for mine, I am gonna do. This is just a PSA because I just watched it. I didn't get to see it while I was in theaters, but Sinners is on HBO Max. So if you don't get around to it,
Yes,
I recommend watching it if you didn't get to it in theaters. But I think my show for this week is I'm going to do a sitcom kind of show. It's called AP Bio, and it's with it's Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He is just a teacher. He's a philosophy professor at Harvard or something. And then he loses his job and is teaching at a high school, teaching AP Bio at a high school. It's a very funny, kind of crude show. If you're into like sitcom, it's like Abbott Elementary, but a little bit, more adult, I'd say.
Okay.
But yeah, AP Bio, it's pretty fun, pretty good watch, and I think you watch it on Netflix. I think it's 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, 3 seasons. All right, that's a good little clip to watch. Well, that's gonna be our put you on for the week. If you want to put us AWR on to something you've been watching or listening to, please make sure to comment down below. Also to like and subscribe to this video. Please share it with a friend, share it with a lover, share it to one of your side pieces, share it to somebody. We trying to grow this group chat. Take it to the moon. Now that we talked about music for the first half hour of the show, I think it's time to talk some ball. And since we all are proud Texas State Bobcat alumni,
Eat 'em
I think
up.
the most exciting news that we have is that Texas State is joining the Pac-12, not this season, but the next. So football Saturdays are about to become even more lit. How excited are you guys?
Hey, I'll let CB take it because I think he's more excited than I am. I have a lot of skepticism with Texas State football, but I think CB is going to bring a more positive outlook on this. So why don't you take the floor, CB?
No, I'm stoked, man. I think this is just a huge lift for this program. I think the biggest thing is getting more name recognition, putting your brand next to other major brands, Boise States, Fresno States, Oregon States, Washington State. But it's more. I know it's the state conference, but it's more recognizable schools. I mean, even from a basketball perspective, Gonzaga. So I think even the biggest thing, not only just the brand lift, but also revenue. I mean, TV deals, that runs college football. That's why you see Texas and OU moving and UCLA and USC moving and all the crazy realignment that's happened in the last really 10, 15 years. I know it's been on steroids the last 5 years or so, but a huge bump. I know numbers potentially quadrupling TV revenue yearly down the stretch in the next few years. So this is a program that I think has really started to invest in athletics recently, especially with the change in presidents and leadership at the top level. And I think this just puts this university in a better space for the next 10 years or so.
I agree. I think it's tough to see them move from the Sun Belt, and I think I don't know about you guys, but I think working so close to the university and working with the football team during our time at KTSW and working with athletics, I think I developed a little bit of bitterness toward the team because I was like, man, we're ass like the 4 years that I'm here, and then they break off 2 8-5 seasons, which were good enough to be 4th in the conference the last 2 years, which is a huge improvement. I won't take that away from them. But I think it's still a part of me that wanted to see them do more in the Sun Belt just before leaving it. But I guess when you're looking at it from a money standpoint, CB, like you said, just the TV rights, all the deals that are going to be coming in, more name recognition, it might make it even easier to attract recruits to Texas State. So it's definitely a change, and I'm interested to see more so how they adjust to the competition level in the Pac-12, because the Sun Belt, to their credit, they have been very underrated, criminally underrated for a while. Like, they've had some really solid teams the last couple of years. I think James Madison lost 1 game last year.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
We had Coastal a few years back. Really
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Coastal was crazy. Yeah, and I think that's the thing that still gives me a little bit of hesitation with this move of, like, the Pac-12 does have tough teams. And in my opinion, I think they probably have a tougher conference as a whole. Is Texas State going to be able to handle, or are they going to be able to, even with the increase of money, are they going to be able to compete with these guys? Not just in recruiting, but in, all the other aspects. Because like you said, there's some big hitters in there, man. You got Boise State, you got Washington State, and yeah, I just think it's going to be definitely a change.
It's going to be weird not seeing certain rivalries anymore, like playing Troy or playing hopefully we keep playing UTSA as much. I would say that's probably one of our bigger rivals, our biggest. But I think it's dope. Texas State, at least in our lifetime, in our memory, the last 2 years have been the best we've ever seen in football. Shit, I went to 2 bowl games. They won both divisions. I was lit at both of them. It was a great feeling. So there was no complaints for me as far as Texas State football. This is about the best run they've been on. And so to see them try to top it off this year, going all in and hopefully win it and win another bowl game, I think it sets them up in prime position with all that extra money. Now having that name recognition, like you said, CB, having your name next to other big names is going to help recruits be like, okay, where Texas State is. Because before we were playing a lot of games on ESPN Plus, right? And if you're not like an avid sports watcher, you're not going to be watching ESPN Plus that much. But now we're going to see a lot of games on CBS. We're going to see a lot of games on Fox Sports late at night, right? When people come back from partying on game days, they're going to flip the TV switch on. and they're going to see Texas State on the TV playing Washington State, playing these other Pac-12 schools. I think it's a great move. I think it's a really, really smart move that they're trying to strike while the iron's hot. Because also, too, you got to think about our coach. GJ, he's wanted. He's a very, very good coach. He's the best coach we've had in a minute. And so you don't know how much longer he's going to stay there. Hopefully he stays here for a lifetime. But obviously that's not realistic, considering the fact that he's wanted by other Power 5 schools. But now you incentivize him, right? You give him another big contract. Now you give him into another Power 5 school where he can now keep continuing to build his program. Not saying that Texas State immediately will be able to challenge with these other Pac-12 schools, but shit, if they join and they're automatically in the middle of the pack and they can improve straight from that, maybe a year after that, get another bowl win after that, that puts Texas State definitely on a higher scale to maybe shoot for those 3-star and 4-star recruits and build upon that.
Yeah, 2 things real quick on that point, Ethan. Like, I love the idea of like the late games, right? So you're playing games in Mountain time zones and Pacific time zones. Think about be on the square and watching games live like at 10 o'clock. And you're playing Fresno State and you at the mark and you got Fresno State in the background. They playing the game. That sounds like a good time. Especially, I mean,
sounds like a vibe.
Sounds like a vibe. How much of a culture do we have for watching away games? I feel like we didn't have much of one as a university. I think that kind of aligns with the culture of the university. And if you've been to the square, like, it sounds like a great time mixing those 2 worlds together. Also, another thing on the money side of things, not only are we in the NIL era of college athletics, but we're moving into the revenue sharing era as well. So teams now are sharing revenue with their players. This is another reason. I mean, you see Texas Tech has been, on fire on the recruiting trail and pulling away recruits from some of these other top programs. But that's because they're able to dip into that monetary bag they have. And even SMU being able to, open up their finance book and say, hey, we might not have the prestige or the wins on the field, but we have the resources to compete with some of the better teams in college athletics. So this is another reason as to why, we need to get this revenue because we're going to have to start sharing it with players. And which is a great thing, by the way. However, in order to be competitive in that space, you have to have more capital.
You made it really, really.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on what you said about the culture. That's a very big part of, I think, what's been growing as far as Texas State sports culture. Because I think we've been, at least since we've been at Texas State and been a part of that, environment, there's been a sports culture that's for the most part been hidden, right? When we were there, basketball was the thing. Basketball was what we were best at. Softball, baseball, we were cool at. We got better as time went. And now they're in their age where they're kind of all firing at all cylinders. And football is also obviously the breadwinner. When it's going, it's going to make the most money. So now that Texas State's finally becoming relevant and good at football, they absolutely should capitalize that, especially when it comes to away games. We didn't have really an away game culture. Shit, we barely had a home game culture when it was looking rough at times. So now that the home games are starting to get packed out, and now like you said, Saturday nights we play in Washington State, 9-10 o'clock on the square. More people are going to want to go out in the square. More people are going to go out and do watch parties later at night. Because we played late. Let's have people over. Like it's going to be a vibe for sure. That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that square aspect of it.
Yeah, I think for fans, it's definitely going to be awesome, and I think for the program, ultimately, it should be a good move. So I'm excited to see where it goes for Texas State. And yeah, this year we'll definitely have to go to a game. You trying to come down to San Antonio
for
UTSA?
Yeah, no, come on now. That's gonna be a vibe. That's gonna be a vibe
for sure.
Right.
Every time they play, it's exciting.
Yeah, the Bobcats gonna take down the Roadrunners again. But
smacked them last year.
BTA.
Can't spell nutsack without UTSA. But all right. Anyway, all right, guys. Now we can move on to some basketball because CB, we decided we thought it would be good to talk about basketball considering you and E are both Mavericks fans, and
I'm still protesting.
Shut up! You're a Mavericks fan. You're not a Lakers fan. Please stop.
Still protesting. I mean, you saw Bronny strap up Cooper Flag. You saw him strap him up.
Relax.
Hey, you saw Kobe Bryant do it too, right?
Relax.
I also saw Kobe Bryant shoot tour dates. I also saw that too.
Okay, we won't talk about that. But what we can talk about is the overall free agency winners and losers. And CB, we want to get to you first, man. Who's a team, or it could even be your Mavericks, maybe a player that was a winner this free agency?
Oh, Devin Booker.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
You the highest paid player in the history of the league. You were the biggest. No one else won more than you. No team, no organization, no player. You got the bag. You're chilling.
And
simple as that.
Hey, from a organization and team standpoint too, I don't want to say the Suns are completely headed in the right direction, but I feel like they got a decent return for Kevin Durant. They're figuring out what to do with the Bradley Beal situation. I think they're ultimately going to end up buying him out, but I think this is a better situation than what they were running with last year for Devin Booker, at least from a on-court perspective. Like, yeah, you don't have KD anymore, but you've got the potential in Jalen Green. Who else did they get in that trade?
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks to bring some defense, because that's ultimately what they need too. Is they needed another guard who could defend.
They also beefed up the front court, getting the center from Duke.
Yep.
I'm not mad at it.
They signed someone else too. I'll find it. Keep going.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I'm not mad at that take. I didn't really think of it in that aspect, but I mean, when you sign the richest contract extension in NBA history, by default, you are a winner.
You're the winner.
Yeah, you are the winner. I'm gonna switch to a different team. So for me, one of the biggest winners got to be the Atlanta Hawks. I think they recognize what you have to do with a player like Trae Young, build around him in the sense of getting a bunch of athletic wings and forwards that can defend and finish off plays. Because people be forgetting Trae Young is among the league leaders of assists. He's one of the great playmakers that we have in basketball, as long as being a great scorer. He's just not the greatest defender. So you got to kind of compensate for that weak link by getting these athletes. So having another year of Zachary Shea helps. Getting guys like Luke Kennard, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kristaps Porzingis to kind of fit into that front court and back court to give you more defenders and more shooters for Trae. Alongside Jalen Johnson, that team got a little bit better, especially when the East being wide open that it is, with the Celtics being hurt, the Pacers being hurt. They jumped the line on a lot of teams and really closed the gaps on teams like Cleveland, on teams like the Knicks, Orlando, the Pistons.
For sure. To highlight my Dallas Mavericks real quick, just from an off-season perspective, getting the number one pick. Shout out to my man Adam Silver for hooking it up. Appreciate the under-the-table deal.
Appreciate you holding your end of the bargain.
Holding your end of the bargain. Got the
Nico Harrison's a lucky man. He's a lucky man.
He's a genius. But getting the number one pick in Cooper Flag, getting D'Angelo Russell to close the gap until Kyrie Irving comes back. I mean, you got to look at this lineup is nuts. I mean, not to mention, if we're talking about off-season wins, who's the biggest off-season winner? It might be my man Klay Thompson. Bag and make the style.
Boy, that's a great shout out, Klay Thompson. When I told you I was at work yesterday, I saw that Instagram picture. I said, I had to do a double take on that. Like, shout out Klay, man. Shout out Klay.
Hey, Clay's gonna be in peak season form, bro. So
what? He's in
season
form.
Might drop 50 this year.
He's 20 games in right now.
He's 20 games. Yeah, they might be. He might change his music when he comes out. When they call him on the starting lineup.
What?
He playing something a little different.
I'm dead. They're gonna come out to WAP. I'm dead. That's hilarious. Gage, who you got as the winner?
Man, I really like what the Denver Nuggets did, man. I think the Nuggets
talk about it.
Trading Michael Porter Jr. to get Cam Johnson onto the team, who I think are very comparable players at a much cheaper price point, just automatically gives them so much more flexibility. It gets them out from under the second apron. And they also signed Tim Hardaway Jr., who I think is
Tim Hardaway Jr. magnet ball with Jokic is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be some fun plays this year. Have they said if they're gonna bring back Russ yet or not?
They haven't decided yet. I think they should. I think
so too, personally.
They brought back Bruce Brown.
Yeah, Bruce Brown's back in Denver. I think that's a good addition for them too. Like, Denver got better, and keep this in mind. They took the champions to 7 games in the Western Conference Finals. So don't count Denver out. Do not count Denver out. That is the last thing if you're a team in the Western Conference, because I know everyone's looking at OKC, and hey, I'll give them a shout out too. They're probably winners too. They got all 3 of their future centerpieces locked up for the future. Shea got a contract extension, J-Dub got his extension, and now Holmgren got his extension. So they're going to be set for a minimum
at least the next 4.
5 years.
At least the next 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, and I think Denver, knowing that OKC was going to be in this position, they made good moves to make them competitive and keep them out of a financial crisis, paying Michael Porter Jr. all that money, and being stuck on that contract for years. I think
Porter Jr. can go to. Yeah, no, Michael Porter Jr. can do what he wants to do in Brooklyn. He can go up there and chuck shots with Cam Thomas for 82 games. They can go have a blast doing what they're going to do over there. Because I do agree that, I agree Cam Johnson's a little better fit in the sense of he's a better catch and shoot player than Michael Porter Jr. is. Way better defender. I think he's going to be a higher basketball IQ player, and I think Jokic is going to appreciate that. Not saying he didn't in Michael Porter, but I think he was just tired of the variance of getting that hot and cold between MPJ and Jamal Murray. It does put a lot of pressure on Jamal Murray. You had that great finals run, but you kind of been kind of coasting by the last 2-3 seasons. And I want to see more from him, especially because if you don't, then Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to chalk up a lot of shots, and I don't know if that's the recipe for success for the Nuggets.
What are y'all's thoughts on LeBron James and all the offseason talk with Rich Paul?
You want to take the floor first?
Yeah, I'll talk about my Lakers.
Okay. Actually, let me hold on.
We got to talk about some losers.
Whose team is he on?
He's a Mavericks fan. Do not let him guess.
I'm protesting. I told you I'm protesting. No, with LeBron and the Lakers, you can see Bron's frustration. I mean, shit, he's in Puerto Rico right now partying with Bad Bunny. He do not care, not one bit, about what's going on too much with the Lakers at the moment. But I don't really blame him too much. I think you can kind of tell the direction that the Lakers were going once they signed Luka. Okay, this is the first time in LeBron's career where he's not the number 1 priority on the team. He's just not. Now the Lakers are moving in the best interest of Luka Doncic and not LeBron James. And you can tell LeBron is on some oh, that's how you gonna do me? I've been here 6-7 seasons, won a ring. And white man did it in 1 summer. This how we doing? I think that's what Bron is. Bron is on with the Lakers, and I think it's one of those things where if a situation arises where a team is willing to give up the right price for Bron, I think Rob and Jeannie sit down with him on some yo, Cleveland gave us a nice package. You can go back there. One last chance, probably a better chance for you to get us a ring, and we can build but we can build a younger squad around Luka. Because if you watch that Timberwolves series, you can tell that the Lakers still have a lot of steps to go. The good thing for the Lakers, though, is they have a blueprint on how to make a championship contender with Luka Doncic. Look at the last 3 years of the Mavericks. Just build that team.
Well, think about it this way, though. I mean, did the Lakers not sell the team? I mean, this is new ownership. So they're coming in and they have a completely different direction that they want to go in. They're not going to bend the knee to LeBron James at this point of his career, being 40 and they've not been successful in the playoffs lately, right? To put it frankly. So, this is a new ownership that, hey, we have a younger player in Luka Doncic. We're going to pivot and go this direction. The one thing I would say, though, is Luka not? He's turning 26 within the next few months. It's not like he's a rookie, and it's not like he doesn't have some concerning injury issues that are starting to accumulate now at this point of his career. Doing this hard shift to Luka when there's still concerns about his fitness and his want to during regular season stretches and even playing defense in postseason. It's going to be a tricky situation. So it'll be interesting to see how they navigate it. But if I'm LeBron James, I'm not sure how all the contractual obligations are going to play out. I know one route is to just be bought out. I highly doubt that they want to do that. But if there's an opportunity at Cleveland or in Dallas where you got AD and Kyrie, I'd love to see it.
So this is the problem with Braun's contract, though, is like it's just so large, and it's no one wants to trade for a 40-year-old Braun at 50 million. I think is what his cap salary is at. It's like it would gut any team that wants to trade for him because you have to match salaries. And like if you think about Cleveland, they would have to trade half of their rotation to get Braun on the team, and at that point, does that make them better? Cleveland really has to think about that and be like, no, it doesn't. Like it'd be cool to
But
have
at the
Braun.
same time, but at the same time, you look at a team like Cleveland. I know we keep going back to that. Decent conference. It's really up for grabs, man.
It's wide open.
It really is. It really is. And you put Braun with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. If somebody said they were the favorite to win the East, I'm not mad at that take. I'm not mad at that take at all. Them three get you done over the Knicks.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know either, bro.
That's my East team. That's my East team.
Okay, fair. No, I get it, but you got to think like it's definitely an all-in move. I would say it's definitely an all-in move. You don't do that move unless you like are close to your window. Dallas makes sense to it, even though I think the possibility of Dallas and the Lakers making any trade for the foreseeable future is kind of vetoed by public opinion and public discourse. So it's interesting to see because he does have 1 year left, and so you don't know if maybe he wants to just ride his season out with the Lakers and go to free agency and take a 1 year contract with a team. Like, screw it, it's my last season, it's my farewell tour. Let's go get a ring.
Yeah. Well, do you guys consider the Lakers a loser in free agency? Because the only signing they've really made is DeAndre Ayton. And now they're dealing with all of this LeBron drama. Do you think the Lakers are considered a loser in this NBA offseason?
I don't know about loser because they did get DeAndre Ayton, and I'm not the biggest DeAndre Ayton fan. First one here to tell you. But he is 1,000 times better than Jackson Hayes. Like, quite literally. Quite literally, he is 1,000 times better than Jackson Hayes. So you did get better on that front court. I still think they need to move Austin Reeves. I think having Austin Reeves and Luka postseason is just very redundant. And you can flip a guy like Austin Reeves and get more depth on the front court, get another guard that can help when Luka is not on the court that isn't Gabe Vincent, because I do not want Gabe Vincent on my basketball team anymore.
He said,
I think you can do
crazy.
that. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, my Lakers.
It's crazy.
But you lost Dorian Finney-Smith too, which is one of Luka's best friends, one of the better 3-and-D players in the league, especially in the forward position. I would say they're closer to. They definitely got a little bit better, but not as much as we'd want the Lakers to, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know about you guys, but this is one team I definitely consider a loser in this offseason, and that's the Pelicans.
Yeah.
There are so many questions for that team. Like, what the hell are they going to do with Zion? Because I don't know about you guys, but I've kind of lost hope with Zion in New Orleans. Like, I think all of my hope is gone because there were points throughout his years so far that I was kind of like, okay, he can still bounce back. Like, every time he's on the court, he's just absolutely a monster. So, like, I'll just keep having the benefit of the doubt. Like, these things just keep happening to him, whether it's injuries or off the court, like shenanigans, his weight. At the end of the day, when he was healthy and he was playing, he was good. So I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I've just kind of lost all energy towards Zion right now, man, where it's one thing after another. It's another excuse after another excuse for him. And at some point, we're just going to need to see him become that player, the one that he was drafted number 1 for. And I just don't think the Pelicans are doing him any favors. They drafted Derek Queen in the first round, which I don't get that pick at all.
I did see his summer league debut. He kind of looks like Baby Jokic. I'm not gonna hold you. Derek Queen is nice. He's kind of nice, bro.
I do like Derek Queen. I don't like the fit. If the plan is to keep Zion, or if they're trying to trade him, then I guess I look at that Derek Queen pick a little differently. But if the plan is for Derek Queen and Zion to play together, I just think that's a spacing it's just horrible spacing for that
Yeah.
team. They traded CJ McCollum, so he's no longer on the team. They traded Kelly Olynyk. I think they're getting ready to trade DeJounte Murray because he's not happy in New Orleans. So I just don't see very much going well for this team. And in the Western Conference, where it's a bloodbath, we know how competitive that each team is going to be in there. I see the Pelicans probably being some of the bottom dwellers after seeing how they handled free agency this offseason.
What do y'all
That's
think
not a bad
about
pick at all.
the Milwaukee Bucks, though? I mean, that's a franchise in a tough spot. If Giannis is not happy, they are really limited as far as their future goes. I mean, what do y'all think about that?
They did Dame so dirty. They did Dame so dirty with being waived. Like, I understand him being waived, and he costs a lot of money. He's not going to play next year. But, like, for him to come back from his injury, put his body on the line, him get hurt again, and y'all waive him like it was nothing. I get why he feels the type of way. I get why Giannis feels the type of way. You doing that to his friend. Yeah, they pay Miles Turner all that money after watching the NBA Finals. Blows me. But I mean, yeah, the Bucks are a good choice too, because it's like they're kind of at beholden to Giannis's mercy. Like, what does Giannis want to do? If he want to stay, cool. We're gonna be trash for about a season or two before we can get some more free agents in here. Maybe put a package away, rebuild Kuzma's PR rep to get him out of here for somebody. Like, it's gonna be a minute for the Bucks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's cool that you add Miles Turner, and I think that like that could be a helpful addition. It's going to keep Giannis in Milwaukee this season, I believe, or at least halfway through the season. Like, if we see a Giannis trade, it won't be till like around the trade deadline, I think, and that would be like everything goes wrong for Milwaukee. They just can't do anything. But it's just tough because you can't really call them winners. They didn't do anything. And I don't want to call them losers because they were just kind of they're in the second apron. Like, I think they were falling victim to the new CBA and not like taking into account paying all of these players massive amounts of money. And now they're kind of suffering for it. So I think right now they're just trying to recoup what they can. They have very limited money and moves that they're able to make. So given what they had, I think Milwaukee will be in the conversation next year if Giannis and Miles Turner stay healthy. But I just don't think it's enough, especially against a team that we just talked about, like the Knicks or even the Cavs. If they don't move anything and they stay the same, I don't see them Milwaukee beating Cleveland in a 7-game series with the lineup they have right now.
I agree.
But anything else in NBA that we need to talk about, guys? Anything? Any other movements or player storylines that we're missing?
Nothing I can think of. I think today's been a great episode. We high key. I don't want to. High key smoke this shit. High key. We get it. People a Clipse album review. We broke down marketing album rollouts. We talked about our alumni school. Who would have thought we'd have done that? And we did NBA winners and losers. Man, clap it up for us, man. Clap it up for us. Smoke this episode.
Hey, CB.
We're professionals, man. Hey, we're professionals.
I mean, yes,
hey,
this is what we do, man.
It's what we do.
CB, we really appreciate you joining us, man. You gave us a lot of great insight on the Clipse album, and just joining us, having a good time on the AWR Recording Podcast. If you guys, like I said at the beginning of the episode, if y'all want to see CB back for more music talk, more basketball, more Texas State football during the season, just let us know in the comments, and we'll make sure to hit him up and get him back on the show. But
for sure, man. Definitely really happy to be on here, man. Glad to be back. Been on a couple episodes in the past, so go check those out. But definitely down to come on again, if y'all will have me.
Hell yeah,
of course,
man.
We love having you. Of course, appreciate you coming on, man. And for those who are wondering, this is the finale of Love Island tonight. I'm putting this in the air. Please, Gage is gonna do a post edit. I cannot see Nick and Alandria win. I cannot. It's not real. Any real relationships on this island get sent the fuck home. I'm so over this season. I'm over this nightmare.
All right. We'll keep that in mind. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the follow button on Instagram, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And we appreciate y'all watching. So for the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton, I'm 007.
Bark.
Gage Sutton. As CB, thank y'all so much for watching. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you next time.